And do you know who's this man?
Ganoune Diop.
This is Ganoune Diop. Do you know what position he holds? He holds a position within the General Conference. The highest body in the church, he has a position there. This was a couple of days ago, Ganoune Diop spoke. Now, one of the signs that indicate that Jesus is near, when you read Ezekiel chapter 8, is the things that take place within the church. These are the signs that indicate the nearness of the Sunday law. Now, Ganoune Diop actually gave a talk a couple of days back. And in his talk, he was talking about the ecumenical movement which he's a part of as a Seventh-day Adventist in connection with the General Conference. And I want you to hear what he had to say about his connection with the ecumenical movement.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church attend a meeting since 1957. 1957. I was not even, there, right? So, the meeting is called Conference of General Secretaries of Christian World Communions.
Let me just pause it there. He's speaking the truth there. That this ecumenical movement of Seventh-day Adventist Church, when I say ecumenical, I mean that the Seventh-day Adventist sends a representative amongst other churches. So it will be the Pope of Rome and it will be representative from all other churches. They come together in an ecumenical movement where they almost try to blend as so-called a body of Christ. And what he is saying is true. Before he came into the picture, the Seventh-day Adventist Church was linked to the ecumenical movement.
Okay? Why did the Adventists, and actually I had a slide I wanted to show, but I cannot show my PowerPoint. So, they have several lists. A list that is called Christian World Communions, meaning churches that are considered genuinely Christians. On that list, we have Seventh-day Adventists, General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. And on the section 9, because I remember clearly, I presented it several times, you have churches that they call with heterodox Christology, meaning they have a different understanding of who Christ is. And on that list is the Latter-day Saints, Mormons, Church of Scientology, Jehovah's Witnesses, and few other things.
Let's pause it there. Are you hearing what he's saying? That they have a list, this ecumenical movement has a list of churches which are true Christian churches and some which are not. Do you know, prior to 1957, prior to the book Questions on Doctrine, do you know where was Seventh-day Adventists listed as? They were listed as a non-Christian church. We were listed as, what is this word called? When I just forget the name, but we are listed as not a Christian church. What happened was we compromised our doctrines, which gave birth to a book called Questions on Doctrine, which caused our church from being a so-called non-Christian church to become a Christian church. But it was a cost of compromising our doctrines. That's why our church is in the state that it is today. Now, hear what Ganoune Diop is saying. That our church is on the list as a Christian church, and I want you to hear what he says is his duty. Listen to what's his job.
Now, Adventists have been diligent since Bird Beach and after John Grass and myself now to make sure.
Now, he mentioned a name. The first name he meant BB Beach or Bird Beach. Who is Bird Beach? Ever heard of Bird Beach? He's dead now. But Bird Beach was one of the first to go over to Rome, and he handed the Pope a golden medal. When he came back, he was singing the praises of the papacy, singing their praises. Now, I want you to hear what Ganoune Diop has to say.
That we will be kept on that list with genuine Christians. That's part of our work. Now, something fascinating they asked me to be the secretary. So what is the role of the secretary? I organize one meeting a year where these leaders gather. Every denomination present on their own term who they are, what they do, and why. I've been doing that now for over 10 years.
So he's the secretary.
Because of these things, then they develop confidence. They're going to meet.
Now, he is the secretary. He organizes the meetings every year. I want to ask you a question. If he was proclaiming our message every meeting that they had, come out of Babylon, you're in Babylon. Question, would he be the secretary any longer? He would be stripped. Now, at what cost are we trying to keep our names as so-called Christian church? At the cost of compromise. Now, is ecumenical movement, should God's church be a part of the ecumenical movement? I'm asking, should God's church be a part of that movement? Does God want unity? Because he says that their next meetings on John 17, where Christ is speaking for unity. Does Christ want unity? Does he want unity? Does he want unity? Christ does want unity. Unity in truth, not unity in apostasy. Unity in truth, but not unity in apostasy. I'm reading from the book Early Writings 124. Now, should any one of God's people attend these meetings? Early Writings 124. She says, I was shown the necessity of those who believe that we're having the lost message of mercy, being separated from those who are daily imbibing with new errors. I saw that neither young nor old should attend their meetings, for there's a wrong dust to encourage them whilst they teach error that is deadly poison to the soul, and teach for doctrines the commandments of men. Question, these churches, these leaders, when they come to present, you think they're presenting truth? No. They are presenting error. Keeping Sunday, commandments of God or commandments of men? Commandments of men. She continues, she says, the influence of such gatherings is not good. If God has delivered us from such darkness and error, we should stand fast in the liberty wherewith he had set us free, and rejoice in the truth. Now listen, God is displeased with us when we go to listen to error. How is God? He's displeased. Now question, has God given us a message to call people out of Babylon? Yes. Then how can we go and mingle with people in Babylon? That's not in harmony with our message. But he's going to go on and explain that the three angels' message is an ecumenical message. Do you believe that? Do you believe the three angels' message is ecumenical? Listen to him.
Somebody at this church attend a meeting.
Now, this is PB Beach. Can you see this man? Next to the cardinal there, and there's the Pope there. That's PB Beach. Now, when he died, do you know what happened in the Catholic Church? How they hailed this man? It says Rome published an obituary for its beloved ecumenical agents, Seventh-day Adventist, Bert Beverly Beach. So this was the man who was strongly connected with connecting the papacy with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Now, I'm not going to read this thing. I want you to listen to Diop.
First of all, when we talk about ecumenism, let me first shock you.
Sure.
And then after that, we Adventists should be the most ecumenical people in the whole wide world.
Okay.
Why do I say that?
You had to say that we should be the most ecumenical people in the whole wide world. That we should be leading out in the ecumenical movement. And question, is he leading out in that movement? They have made him the secretary to organize the meetings. Now listen.
Do we not say we have an everlasting gospel to preach to the whole world? That's oikumene.
Did you hear what he said? Our message is ecumenic. Friends, our message is calling for separation. Come out of Babylon. Not unite with Babylon.
Okay.
The big difference between our before I say that, every good thing has its counterfeit. Trinity, counterfeit Trinity. Right? Okay. Christ, Antichrist, counterfeit Christ. The Holy Spirit, counterfeit. Church, counterfeit, and I could continue on and on and on. Ecumenism is exactly the same. If ecumenism means fusion of churches, we say no way. If ecumenism means the gathering of churches under a human leader, whether the Pope, the Patriarch, or whoever, that's counterfeit.
Can you hear what he's saying about what he's doing?
Yes, he's like
He's very opposite, completely opposite.
You know, sometimes I go to places, oh, you are in ecumenism. I say, yes, I am. I mean, on purpose, because I know this is confusing, but precisely for the purpose of saying, but what do you mean by ecumenism? And then we realize ecumenism for these people means apostasy. Of course, we reject that.
Can you hear what he's saying? When he travels, people say, you're in ecumenism, you're in apostasy, stop that, come out of that. He says, no, I reject that, I'm not in apostasy.
Apostasy, seriously? We promote Christ and Christ alone. And that's one of the principles of the Reformation.
You know what he's singing?
singing
This is a Roman Catholic song, hymn. Who is singing this? I want you to see. Oh, you see now ecumenism has messed him up.
Yes.
To a point where he's singing their songs. Now I want you to see the danger. Do you know that inspiration says that many times you can go even to visit these Catholic churches and so forth, and she says you can come out baffled.
Yes.
Do you know Baby Pete went over as an Adventist, he came back, he started singing the praises of the Pope. I want you to see what the woman of God says about even visiting Babylon. Dangerous. She says many Protestants, Great Controversy 566, many Protestants suppose that the Catholic religion is unattractive and that its worship is dull and meaningless round of ceremonies. Yeah, they mistake. Whilst Romanism is based upon deception, it is not a coarse and clumsy imposture. The religious service of the Roman Church is a most impressive ceremonial. Its gorgeous display, its solemn rites fascinate the senses and the people and silence the voice of reason and conscience. She says the eye is charmed. The magnificent churches, the imposing processions, the golden altars, the jeweled shrines, the choice paintings, the beauty, she says, of the church. The ear is also captivated. The music is unsurpassed. The rich notes of deep-toned organ blending with the melody of many voices as it swells through the lofty domes and pillared aisles of a grand cathedrals cannot fail to impress the mind with awe and reverence. Ganoune Diop, do you know that his mind's been impressed by the papal system? You won't find one sermon where he calls out the papacy as the Antichrist. Not a single sermon. Not a single sermon. Friends, this is an indication, unfortunately, that our church is making partnership, it's in union with the papal system. That said, is the Seventh-day Adventist Church Babylon because of one man and a part of the General Conference? Is the church Babylon now? Nope, not Babylon. Not Babylon. Do you know that the body itself is not Babylon, but you know there can be many Babylonians inside the church. And what I'm saying is there are many Babylonians inside. And that's why people wonder, we're waiting for the General Conference to tell us the mark of the beast is coming. Waiting for the General Conference to tell us get out of the city, go into the country. Friends, that's not going to come. That's not coming. It's not coming.